Hello and welcome to the 139th episode of the gojenn podcast. This will be my last podcast for 2017. The year is almost over. I'm glad. I think it was kind of a up and down year on a national level. I think it was down and a lot of bad things happened this year, so I'm hoping for a better 2018. Although some good stuff happened too. I have moved from my bullet journal into this uni journal, and you can see how I have filled up. It's so hard to believe. There, all of that is me stuff, mostly stuff that doesn't make any difference to anybody, but it's still me. So, did everyone have a nice solstice, Hanukkah, Christmas, Yule, whatever you celebrate, or whatever you don't celebrate? Personally, I had one of the best holidays I've had recent in years. Everything just went well. The only problem was my social anxiety. It's like, oh, don't make me go see people I like. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I sure wish it would go away. Because I have to fight through it. It makes no sense. I cause myself needless stress, and I always have a good time. And I got to see family and friends that I haven't seen for months. I got some good presents. My presents were received well, and that always feels good. Excuse me. When it's something that you've handmade, it's good for the receiver to acknowledge that, boy, you spent a lot of time on this. That must mean you care about me. And I know that part's not said, but I hope that it's, I hope that it's felt. And so I just had a good time. And after the holiday was over and it's time to go back to work, and I needed a weekend to get over my holiday, I just looked back and I'm glad. I'm happy. And I had a good holiday. So I wanted to take a little bit of time in this, which is my last podcast for 2017, and ask you, if you haven't already subscribed, if you would. I would appreciate it, and that way you get a little notification. If you hit the little bell symbol right down, yeah, I think it's right down there. If you hit that, then you get a little notification every time I upload content, which for the month of December, it's been kind of scattered. I know this. But normally I put up a new podcast every Sunday. This weekend I'm planning two. One which will only be about my bullet journal, and then another one talking about my plans for 2018. Have you got plans? I'm not big on resolutions. They're just a statement of intent. I intend to quit bad habits. And I am down to so few bad habits. I need to hold on to some. I mean, I've given up all the, I'll start to say all the good stuff, but I don't really mean that. But I don't smoke. I don't really drink anymore. And so a girl's got to have some vices, right? I've given up everything else. But anyway, let me see. I did want to say thank you for coming to share just a little bit of your time today with me. I am going to talk about the past year. And when I looked back, I have done very well in all three of my favorite areas. My crafting, I was able to gift 2 blankets, a lap blanket, 2 shawls, numerous washcloths and things like that, and a hat. And so that makes me feel happy, especially when somebody says, "Oh, you made this for me?" Yes, I did. I made it because I love you. So, and that's a good feeling. And even if you don't get that reaction, if you get the, what is this? You just kind of shrug it off and say, hey, maybe at some point in the future they'll realize what a gift they were given. And you mark them off your list forever making them anything else again. Socks. They can have Walmart socks from now on, and they'll be happy. Okay. Enough of that. I had some finished objects. I finished a blanket, the Join As You Go blanket that I'd been working on. Finished that and gifted it. Made washcloths. That's about all the crafting I've been doing lately. However, I do want to say, look at this. My dear follower, Miss Christy Rose, thank you, sent me this bag full of mini skeins. I know. Isn't that wonderful? I was so excited. It came in the mail and I was just, oh, so excited. So what did I do with mini skeins? I started a new Tunisian crochet 10-stitch Afghan. And it just starts here and it's going to go around in a spiral until it's big. And I took some time the other day. My eyes were really tired. And so I balled up some of the mini skeins into mini balls of yarn. What were you thinking? I don't know. Okay. So I was excited to get started on this, but I'm getting ready. Let me segue into my next topic, which is the upcoming Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet House Cup starts January 1st. And I'm going to try another detention owl. And if you remember, I did one of these last January. And I worked on a sweater that I was knitting, a pair of socks I was knitting, and 2 blankets that I wanted to put together. And I got the sweater, I finished a sleeve and the body of the sweater. And it just needs the other sleeve now. But I'm not going to work on that in January. I'm going to do things that I want badly to do. I'm going to finish another pair of socks. I have a blanket of the little sock yarn blanket squares. I have a granny square blanket that I have 12 squares, but I think I want to make it with a 4 rows by 5 rows, columns, whatever. So I need to make some more squares of the granny blanket. And to finish my virus shawl, the pink virus shawl. So I'm going to start on that in January, and I've been planning that, and I will have more on that hopefully this weekend when I record again. So I wanted to say thank you very much to Miss Christy Rose. I love mini skeins. I love mini projects. I love when you get something and it's finished, which even on that Tunisian blanket, of course the blanket square is not finished, but that much of the mini skein is, and it's just wonderfully fun. So the best Christmas gift I got, this gets the prize. And you know that this quilt that's always on my chair, my daughter, my older daughter, made this for me. And this Christmas, she outdid herself again. And you probably can't see it all because it's pretty big. So it's like a wall hanging or something of this bear. And I will try to put in a still photo if I remember. And if I don't, you know, soon I'll try. But because I love quilted things, I love handmade things, and I love bears. I would like to be a bear. You know, they sleep all winter, eat all summer. I could do that. I don't really want to eat grubs and stuff that bears eat, but I could eat the berries. Not grubs. Ugh. But at any rate, I wanted to be sure and show you the bear because that's just, I love it so much. Okay. So I mentioned already that I was able to gift many items that I had crafted and the inner joy that that gave me to do. I know I've mentioned before that money is really tight right now. My husband's hoping to be able to get disability, but we haven't had his income for over 2 years now. So money's tight, and me being able to give handmade things helped with that, you know. So that made me happy. Oh, and I said I was happy with the 3 parts of my non-working life, and that my crafting is one, my reading is another, because I've read many books, talked to y'all about most of them, and the third thing is my art. How much fun I have had this year playing with art, painting and markers and Zentangles and all kinds of stuff that has just truly enriched my life. Who knew? Not me. I had no idea I would enjoy it as much as I do. So that has enriched my life, as I say, very much. My reading, my art, and my crafting. And I'm glad for that. I'm very glad for all of those things. So, what do I have planned for 2018? In general, because I plan to get into specifics later when I talk to y'all again. I've decided I'm going to use another single book journal for 2018. I used to, if you remember, if you've been around for a while, I used to use a traveler's notebook, which was simply a cover over several, 3 or 4 independent, separate journals inside. I love having everything in one book. So, and I don't have to do the planning. You know, my work is just go to work and work. So I don't have notes and things that affect my non-working. It's like I walk out and I shut that part of my brain off completely. So this is all just fun and games. And it does make me happy, so I've decided to go back with a single journal for 2018. And I hope to be getting that set up so that when I do my bullet journal video, it will be a look back over this journal and how I'm going to set up the new one. Okay, I have decided to do the detention owl, to try for that in January. for Harry Potter on the internet and at the Ravelry website. If you're a crafter, I highly recommend. Where does that piece of hair go? I'm sorry. I highly recommend that you join Ravelry. It's free, and you just have a world of crafting and like-minded people, just a click away. So when you do play in the Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet House Cup, which is one part or one group within the umbrella of Ravelry, because you can belong to Ravelry without ever having to do any of the house cup stuff. I did for years. But when you do Harry Potter, you must make at least one project every month, whether you're doing a big project like an owl or not. So you have to do at least one. So I'm hoping to do slippers. I'm going to try to make some slippers. I don't know if I'll like them, and if I don't like something, I can't expect someone else to. So stick around and find out with me how we like slippers. So I'm going to try to do that for my one class each month. This January, February, and March while I'm working on the detention owl. So what you have to look forward to this weekend, I'm going to do a video about my bullet journal, and I plan to do a more in-depth planning for my crafting and things I'm going to look forward to in 2018, along with camping, of course. So that's what is coming up this weekend. I hope to do 2 videos. That's my plan. And on my list of things to do is to tidy my desk. If you remember, several months ago, I tidied my room, and how nice it was. Well, that's all gone. Someone came in and just messed it all up and left a terrible mess on my desk. They did. Why would someone do that? I don't know. But anyway, until I see you later this week, I wish you nothing but love and laughter.